Welcome to the Redirect, Regroup, Refocus podcast with your host, life coach Jeff Relaford. This podcast is designed for those who wish to change their inner self in order to maximize outward potential. So come redirect, regroup, and refocus with your number one life coach, Jeff Relaford.
Hello. And I would like to just welcome everybody let me get centered here, to another episode of What People, the Redirect, Regroup, Refocus podcast. Now, listen, I really want to talk to you all today. I know it's been a day, and I really want to talk to you all about resiliency, because with resiliency, people, it's something that I know people struggle with. They have a hard time dealing with. So I really want to hone in on that today. And as always, I want to thank you for listening and tuning in, because you don't have to. And I really highly appreciate it. So hats off and gratitude to you all. Thank you so much. So we're going to dive right into it. So this is the deal, everybody. I went out with my wife today. We went out to the Riverwalk. Okay. The Riverwalk in Chicago. We had a nice dinner. We ate and everything like that. And we took the time to just kind of walk the Riverwalk a little bit. We were chatting, and the topic of resiliency came up. And this resiliency just isn't just based off of, how can I say, it's not just based off of just you going through one situation or a couple of situations. What it is just a resiliency in life overall. So that's what we talked about. So it was just very amazing how us as people, we go through certain things, but we always have to remember that our bounce back has to become a lot better and stronger, right? A lot better and stronger than the situation that we're in. Because the thing is, I tell people, you don't ever have to shut off your emotions. Never cut off your emotions for anybody. Don't you ever do it. With that being said, though, what you have to do is you have to learn how to control your emotions. And when you learn how to control your emotions, then you in turn become adaptable, right, to situations. So this is where your resiliency kicks in. Are you going to let things continue to beat you down and hold you down to a different standard? Or are you going to rise above that negative standard that you are looking at in the mirror? Because at the end of the day, things are going to happen that always aren't going to go your way, but it's still up to you. I'm looking at you now. Up to you. That's right. Up in the camera. You see that autofocus? It is up to you to go ahead and make sure that at the end of the day, you maintain balance in your life. And the only way you maintain balance in your life, I don't want to say the only way, because there are many different ways to maintain balance in your life. But one of the best ways to maintain balance in your life is managing your resiliency to situations that happen in your life. Like today, it was a lot going on, not just for me, but, I will say, I had a lot going on with myself. I did. And the thing is, I've been moving around in the morning. I've been doing a lot of stuff. I did not, honestly, I'm going to let y'all know, I did not want to go to Chicago. I didn't feel like it today. But guess what? My wife wanted to go. She said we can do the Riverwalk. She said we're going to have a good time. So I was open to it. And I had to say this to myself, Jeff, you need a break sometimes. You need a break. And that's the thing, y'all. Y'all don't understand. I'll be moving around so much. I'm up, I'm down, I'm left, I'm right. And I have to balance that with a lot of other things I'm doing too. So I rarely get times for breaks. If my break, I'm going to be honest with y'all, my break is sitting at home and relaxing. That's real talk. That's just what my break is. My break is sitting at home, relaxing, chilling a little bit, making sure that I'm at peace internally. And I get it. Some people want to go out and do stuff that I don't necessarily need all of that. I just need to find some type of peace. Or I can go to the cigar lounge, do my thing, have a couple cigars here and there. You know what I mean? I might go with my cousin. I might just go by myself. It all depends on how I'm feeling. But these are the things that we do to maintain. So it in turn helps my resiliency, because when certain things happen, I just accept it. Now, along with that, resiliency and acceptance means that you have to be okay with your decisions. What did what did Alonzo say to Jake in training day? He said, "You made a decision. I live with your decision." Now, for all my other people who know how this movie goes, he said, "It's not like I didn't put a gun to your head," but he did. It's a long story. If y'all see the movie, check it out. But I'm focusing on you made a decision, so live with your decision. If you made a decision, you can't go back, right, people? You can't go back in time. All you have is now, the moment of now. So that's what you have to focus on. You have to focus on the moment of now and how you can actually assess your now, okay? How you can assess your now and how you can actually determine it. It might not be perfect the way you want it to be, but you can kind of determine your now based off of your own response. And that is the resiliency that you need to have. That is the resiliency that we all need to exercise, because there are going to be times when things happen that we just don't like. Real talk, people. There are things, and forgive me, I'm looking down because I have my screen is here. So I'm monitoring, looking at some things, making sure the feed is good. And I'm also looking at you all as well. So just bear with me. But that's the type of resiliency you need to have. Like my resiliency right now, make sure the stream go good. I'm able to multitask. I can talk to you all and I can also look at my screen. So this is what I have to do, because if something happens, I got to move quick. You know what I mean? I have to move quick. But that's just one level of resiliency. What if you have something where your dog dies? You know what I mean? What if it was on your own merit? What if you accidentally gave your dog chocolate? I'm just saying things happen sometimes. I'm not saying everybody does it, but it's a person walking this earth right now that left something out. Their dog ate it and died. I'm just saying. So what if that happens? What do you do in situations like that where it seems like things have just flipped and it doesn't go your way? Everything's topsy-turvy. Nothing seems like it could just go the way that you want to do. You have to be resilient. You have to be willing. You have to be willing to say, okay, I am in an uncomfortable position, but what can I do to make this position more comfortable for myself? Okay. And I'll tell you what you can do to make it comfortable for yourself. A lot of it starts up here first, people. A lot of it starts up here in the mind first. So in order to be more comfortable with your resiliency in certain situations, you have to think differently. Now, I know, once again, I know this is hard for a lot of people to understand and grasp. And I say hard for people because I don't like to say things are just easy. I don't like to do that, because everybody's at their own level of understanding. Everybody's at their own level of wherewithal in life. You know, always keep your mind open where you're able to grow and take in and learn new things. And I get it. It's hard, because it's been hard for me too. It has been very hard for me at times to try to grow and develop into the person that I am now. It took time. So I'm right there with y'all in the trenches, man. I understand it takes time to do this. So with it taking time, okay, with it taking time, you have to remain patient with yourself also. Don't beat yourself up. I guarantee you, beating yourself up is the worst way to bog down, okay? Bog down and slow down that process of resiliency. Okay. And I say, don't beat yourself up, because think about it. As soon as you have a negative thought and it enters into your mind, what does it do? It causes you to be stagnant. It causes you to stop moving forward. It stops you to focus on, it stops you from focusing on inner growth. Okay. And what do I say the mantra of the podcast is? Y'all hear it every day in the intro. It promotes inner growth for outward change, inner growth for outward expansion. That's what we focus on here. So why would you continue to let negative thoughts run you? And if you do, okay, now hear me, people. If you do allow negative thoughts to creep in, which we all do at times, you have to flip it into a negative. So like I said earlier, I did not feel like going to Chicago. What did I do? I flipped it and I said, you know what? I know once I get out there, I'm gonna have a good time. I'm gonna enjoy. So that's what I did. I don't like the traffic. I don't like driving through all this other stuff. I don't like going through those aspects of it. I don't like city life, so to speak. I like hustle and bustle. I like hustle and bustle. But I just sometimes going into Chicago, it's just not my thing. It's just not my thing, you know. But I'm learning with my wife to adjust to all of that. You know what I mean? So it makes some sense, but that's my growing phase. That's my learning curve. You know, I don't always have to be local to enjoy. And what I mean by local, some of y'all might be watching right now and y'all say, well, Chicago is local. But what I mean is, if I'm used to a slower pace, if I'm used to just going somewhere, you know, chilling, not having really to make a reservation for a spot or anything like that, if I'm used to just going, you know, sometimes we don't want to lose that as people. I always tell people, I'm all about ease of access, right? So what do we want? We want ease of access. We like those things that are easy for us to do because it's comfortable. Okay. It's comfortable. So the thing is, with resiliency, you are always going to be in a state of uncomfortability. You are going to be in a state of uncomfortability. And I'll tell you why it's like that. It's like that because, what did I say earlier? You have to be adaptable to things. Resiliency forces you to cope with the inner part of yourself that you don't like the most. What I mean by is, what you don't like the most is you don't like it because you have to change. Y'all feel what I'm saying? You don't like it because you have to learn how to change. And if you're not willing to learn how to change, it is going to be very hard for that bounce back in resiliency. So that's what I'm challenging you to do today. I'm challenging you to not look at situations with such a negative mindset or such a downward spiral of thought process. What I'm challenging you to do is to take it to another level, increase your productivity in whatever it is, increase your productivity, and center yourself with positive thoughts. Center yourself with positive people. Okay. And a lot of times we have people that will speak negative about certain things. Like, for instance, and I'm just using this as an example. My boy, if you're watching, hey, this is just an example. Like, I was talking to my guy on the phone the other day, and when I talked to him, he made mention about, I had a little situation with my ebook. Yeah, I got an ebook. You can go to my website and actually download my ebook that I have. It's called Redirect, Shifting the Mindset. It's book 1. We got book 2 coming out before the end of the year is out, and that'll be self-awareness. Okay, self-awareness. There we go. Book number 2. It's coming, y'all. But anyway, I had an ebook that I put out. And with that ebook, it didn't load properly. Now, I wanted to share with my friends at the time because I was looking at it and I was like, well, okay, it's good. Go ahead, download the ebook. So I guess we had a mishap and only 2 pages of the ebook had downloaded. For some reason, I guess my boy who was publishing the book for me, he didn't download the whole book. He accidentally put up 2 files. He uploaded the wrong file. That's what I'm trying to say. He uploaded the wrong file. So here I am. I'm talking to my boy on the phone. He said, well, how is your 2-page ebook? Now, I'm going to tell y'all something. In my mind, I said, who in their right mind has a 2-page ebook? Now, this shows me that, now see, and I'm not catching any feelings, and I'm just saying, you have to be able to recognize this stuff in your life. It shows you the people that actually are following you with things, and the people that just they support you, but they kind of don't care what you do. You know what I mean? I know my boy supports me, but he living his own life too. So I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean it that when people live their lives, sometimes they can care less about what you're doing. I'm guilty of that too, you know? So what I do is I support people from afar sometimes. There are a few people I support directly, you know what I mean? Directly. And it's not because they show me support. It's just how things just kind of fall in. That's just my circle. You know what I mean? That's my circle of people. And that's just what it is. But I say this story just to show you, when I say keep people around you who will breed that positivity, okay, that was a situation that at the time was negative. But he didn't ask me, well, did you get the ebook uploaded? He didn't ask me, well, how did it turn out? All he said was, how was your 2-page ebook? And at the time, my boy knew that when that happened, it wasn't a good situation. It was a bad thing. So a lot of times people will focus on negative. So what I did was I controlled my response to it. I didn't let it bother me. I didn't let it upset me. I just said to myself, hey, well, he wants to call the 2-page ebook. So let me school him real quick on what I actually got going on, because here's the bounce back, people. The bounce back is this. The ebook loaded up wrong. But guess what? I have hard copies of my book that I have sold and I'm still selling, making some money off of it. So that's the deal, yo. People will look at those negative things that will go on that you have going on in your life. And sometimes that's all they'll see. Sometimes people aren't wired to ask you about the updated version of you. You know what I mean? Or the situation that you might go in. You know what I mean? This is real life stuff, people. You know what I mean? I can't make all this up. This is real life stuff that happens with people because it's real life and it happens to me. So I know it has happened to you also. You know what I mean? I know it had to. There's got to be something that happened. But once again, the topic is resiliency, people. You saw how I took a negative situation. You saw how I took a negative outcome and I shed light on it, and it was a positive thing. That's how it works, people. That's how it works. Stop taking those things that people will say in a negative connotation. And sometimes it's people as human, with human nature, right? With human nature, that's what we tend to do. You have to literally reprogram your mind to think differently. You have to do it. There's no way of getting around it, because if you don't do it, what you'll end up doing is you're finding yourself going down the downward spiral, people. Yep. I said the downward spiral of negativity. And that's not what you want. That is not what you want, because like I said before, it'll mess up with your productivity. It'll mess up with you wanting to actually to complete the vision that either God has given you or you have seen for yourself. Because I say that because I do recognize that some people don't believe in God. I have nothing to do with that, but y'all know I believe in God. So if that bothers you, you don't have to watch it, but whatever. But either the vision that God has given you or what you believe in, you know what I mean? So that's something that you have to really look at and say, okay, am I going to be laser focused? Am I the person, meaning me, but are you going to be laser focused on what it is that you want to accomplish and do? Because your situation could look bad, but it doesn't always have to stay there. Okay? Always recognize that you are in control of certain things. You're in control of your emotions. Okay? I know what some of my people are going to say who watch. They're going to say, well, God is in control. But what has God placed you in control? You are in control of your own emotions. You are in control of your own actions. If somebody curses you out, you don't have to curse them out back. You could walk away and say, I ain't dealing with this today. If somebody's going to hit you, you have every right to defend yourself. So I'm saying, people, throw some hands, defend yourself if you got to. You know what I mean? Defend yourself. Please do. But there are some people that won't defend themselves. They won't resort to violence. We know that there are about 90% of people will fight back, but there are a few people in this world and on this earth that won't. You know what I mean? So the point I'm trying to make is, people, it's all about a choice. Your resiliency is based on the choices that you make. Your resiliency is based on the things that you have been through in life. You can tell when people do not have a high bounce back or high resiliency point, because normally these are the people that haven't been through anything. When you've been handed stuff to you your whole life, given stuff, born with a silver spoon in your mouth. You never really had anybody in your life to hold you accountable. So if you've never had anybody in your life to hold you accountable, how do you expect to hold yourself accountable? Now, there's one or two things that can happen. You'll either fall in line with people who will hold you accountable, and those will be your true friends, or you will continue to be around people that just appease you. Okay? And for my people that watch and don't really know what that means, appeasement is just people who will pacify you. People who will go ahead and do what they can to keep you happy because they know that they don't want any drama. These are the people that won't tell you the truth. These are the people that won't keep it real with you. These are the people that won't sit up here and say, hey, bruh, are you good? Because I kind of see something in you right now that don't look right. Or I see something in you. You all right? Because the way you were talking or the way you do, it don't seem right. I want to look out for you because you my boy, you my home girl, something like that. You know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to say, people. You need to really hone in on people, because your resiliency is based off of your life experiences and your choices. Now, I get it. Maybe some of y'all haven't been through a lot. You know what I mean? So guess what? If heartache and pain comes your way, it's going to hurt. Let's real talk. It's going to hurt. And I'm here to tell you, it's okay if it hurts. It's okay to go through heartache. It's okay to go through pain. It's okay, because at the end of the day, you must realize that within yourself, that you will bounce back and overcome it. That's very key. You have to realize that you will bounce back and overcome it. Because if you know that you'll overcome it, you'll know that it's a better light at the end of the tunnel. You'll know that it's a much better situation for you to withstand. You know what I mean? That's just what it is, people. Real talk. That's just what it is. So you have to take your time to really look at yourself and cultivate those things that are inside of you. Okay? Cultivate those positive things that are inside of you. Stop paying attention to the negative aspect. Now, for growth purposes, it is okay to analyze your negativity. You analyze your negativity with the thought of getting better. You analyze the negative parts about you or the things that you don't like, because there are different levels to negativity. So I have to say that it's not like I'm saying just, oh, I don't like the way I look today, so I don't like the way that I look. Man, it must be, nah, stop. Learn to love you. Learn to love yourself. Doesn't matter what other people think. It doesn't matter what other people say. Learn to love you and to be comfortable with the person that you are, as long as you're not offending anybody, as long as you're not over expressing your point to the point to where it does make people angry and upset. If you can have healthy dialogue and communication with people that doesn't offend anybody, you ain't doing nothing wrong. You know what I mean? You're not doing anything wrong. So a lot of times what I've realized, people just have a hard time handling truth. A lot of times we don't surround ourselves by people or with people that can tell us things about ourselves. And if they do, you kind of explain it. Now I'm going to tell you this. It's okay to explain yourself, because sometimes people don't understand why you are the way you are, the reason why you act the way you do. I feel that it's good for a healthy friendship or relationship or marriage or whatever it may be. As long as you're in relationship with that person, it's very good to explain why you are the way that you are, why you do things the way that you do things. And if it does happen to be something that affects somebody in a different way, or if it affects you in a way and creates hostility between you and your bounce back, you have to be a bigger person and analyze that for yourself, right? You can't just hold on to all the negativity. You have to find a way to change and bounce back from that negativity. You have to, because If you do not, that will be one thing that will be even harder for you to fight up against, to go up against. Because let's just be real. You all have the power to get to a higher level of self, a higher level of understanding within yourself. We all have that inside of us. No, nobody's better. Nobody's greater. It doesn't matter at the rate that you do it in. It just matters that you do it, right? It doesn't matter how quick you do it. It matters that you just do it. Self-analyzation is one of the hardest things for us to do in life because, once again, I have to say this, and I say it all the time, because you are finally faced to look at yourself. You are looking right in the mirror at public enemy number one. And I say public enemy number one, which is you, because it's me too. It's you and me, right? You look at public enemy number one because at the end of the day, you are the one that's in control of your life. I'm not talking about the freak accidents that happen. I'm not talking about the sickness or disease. I'm not talking about all that. Although we can control our health too. My ex-pastor used to say, even at your healthiest, you still at your sickest to die. So you can control your health, to an extent, people, because there's some people who have health problems. They have to manage their diet, all this other stuff like that. Or they might take medicine or pills. You know what I mean? But it's still managed or regulated and or controlled, because once you do that stuff, you have to be responsible for that too. So people, your bounce back has to be better than the current situation that you are in now. You hear me? Your bounce back has to be better than the current situation that you are in now. That is going to be the only way. Okay? The only way that you are able to get over these humps in crisis. So listen, y'all, we coming up on that 30-minute mark. Y'all know I don't like to keep y'all too long, but I really hope today that you got something out of this. I really hope that you pay attention to your own resiliency and you apply different keys, different mechanisms, different aspects that you can bring to the table. Maybe you might pick something up from here. Maybe you might pick something up from a friend, a family member, or you might watch another video. But you started here first, right? You might watch another video that might have something to do with the current situation that you're in, and it might show you or teach you how to become better. So that is what I want you to focus on. I want you to focus on those good things about yourself first. Keep those at the top. Then focus on those parts that you don't like. Focus on those parts that you might hear people say about you. Focus on those parts that's just uncharted territory. Don't be afraid to do it, because at the end of the day, it's all about your growth. And once again, your resiliency has to kick in, and it's a lot better than the current situation that you are in now. But you have to own it and you have to believe it all. So, all right, y'all, this is another episode of the Redirect, Regroup, Refocus podcast. And remember, I love y'all so much. I didn't mean to tap the mic, so y'all heard that. I love y'all so much. And remember, Redirect, Regroup, Refocus. I love y'all. Peace out.
Thank you for listening and tuning in to the Redirect, Regroup, Refocus podcast. We do thank you and appreciate and value you as a listener. Now, I would like to just throw in, please follow us on social media. You can follow us on Instagram as Redirect, Regroup, Refocus, and also Life Coach Jeff Relaford. You can also find me on Facebook as Jeff Relaford. That's my personal page. Go ahead, give me a follow there. I always put up some good inspirational content. And also the business page, Redirect, Regroup, Refocus on Facebook as well. So, all right, you all, thank you for tuning in. And next week, we will be here again.